Today we visit Cosmeston Medieval Village near Lavernock in South Wales, the remains of which discovered in the late 1970s during the construction of the country park in which it now stands. During the 1980s, a thorough archaeological investigation was undertaken, revealing an entire lost community. Buildings emerged and everyday artifacts surfaced, such as a fishhook, a jug and a penny from the reign of Edward I. So it is decided to reconstruct the buildings, keeping each on its original site. Come along with me as we go through the gates to Cosmeston and begin our journey back in time. To the year 1350. There's the reeve's cottage and barn. The reeve was like an administrator of the village. His role was to ensure that the village economy functioned smoothly, crops and fields were looked after, and that villagers abided by the Lord's wishes. The reeve's cottage is obviously made for a person of high social status in the community. The village tithe barn is where taxes were recorded and stored by the village priest before being moved on for sale or distribution to various clergy. Of all the medieval taxes, the tithe had an impact on most. Everything that was grown, produced or made was subject to a 10% tax by the church. In a village environment, the swineherd could find themselves responsible for most of the village pigs as they foraged through the surrounding woodland. The nature of the swineherd's work is reflected inside his house, which is a combination of a home, pig yard and a butcher's, and outside is a small run and pigsty for when the pigs are brought in from the woods. Next we enter the peasant's cottage. Just earth floor and a thatch. Oh my goodness, I thought it was my wife in bed for a minute. Mustn't wake her up. Yes, I can think of a better job to do at night. Only the baker, having paid the lord of the manor rental for the ovens, was allowed to bake bread. Next to the baker's cottage is a small building constructed around two ovens. One is for baking bread and the other is a malting oven for roasting barley to make ale. As the baker's cottage is also the village tavern. We now leave the medieval village and walk through the country park. The country park opened to the public in 1978 and gained local nature reserve status in May 2013. Today, Cosmeston Lakes Country Park is a haven for local wildlife. The site was once a commercial limestone quarry owned by the British Portland Cement Company. The works finally shut in November 1969 and the quarries were closed in June 1970. Once quarrying ceased, two of the excavated sites were used for landfill and the remaining two naturally flooded, creating the lakes that are seen today. A circular path was created around the lake with boardwalks constructed over the wetland areas. It was during the laying of the paths, thinning of dense undergrowth and general landscaping that the remains of the medieval village were found. It was excavated and developed into the visitor attraction that it is today.